afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Sight, Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on a Lost Glider. The setting is 1944, Operation Market Garden. As the British are pushing ahead towards Nijmegen, of course, the ultimate goal being Arnhem, they are suddenly found themselves beset by a counterattack from the 107th Panzer Brigade under the command here of Jimmy 890, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, with Jaeger infantry, Blitzkrieg, and mobile defense as north we got Luckyman55, fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth, the Guards Armored Division with mobile assault, special weapons and commander regiment, triple infantry on both sides. MG4 to the side here for Jimmy with double sections out here for Luckyman55. Section moving towards the centre. In east section number 2 is going to be probably heading for the field when we see Luckyman trying to gain control over the central areas there to deny it to the Huns, the Jerrys. Grenadiers arriving here for Jimmy as his men move forwards for the fatherland, swiftly scanning out to see if there's any Tommies in sight, but so far mostly bicycles. Section thinking about here, going to try and threaten the CoH point. Already a bold dashing move here, of course, punishing Jim for just moving ahead here. But we got a second Grenadiers put nearby which can counterattack, put the pressure in the section. But how quickly will we do something there? Third section out here for Luckyman55. Going to do something in the section here. Shots flying back and forth from there. Good CoH point already hit. A bit unfortunate out there. Good, just pulling back. He can even pop him to the house, in which case it's going to be much more difficult for Jimmy to grab the CoH point. Interesting enough, so far he's not making an effort towards it. Machine gun remains in church. Few put in knee secured here by the British. So Jimmy is just going to act like there's nothing there. He's going to basically hope that Luckyman gets bored and moves somewhere else, I guess. I mean, that's a bold move. He's going to have the Pioneers pop back. It also looks like he's going to go for a sniper here to try and bleed out the Inselaffen. And yes, indeed, he does go for the sniper. Die Scharfschütze. Going to snipe those little helmets off their heads, and preferably their heads goes along with the helmet. Fourth section on the way there, so we can see the Luckyman55 is committing very heavily to infantry. He's going to try pressure here. Pioneers grab the CoH point, but the section is moving up. Quick fire up next to a tree. Pioneers might be able to grab the point before they die up too heavily. Rushing for the creative bit of cover to just minimise the incoming damage. There you go. Gets the job done, falls back. You might hope then that Luckyman goes for the CoH point again, in which case the sniper will be waiting and ready. Up north point, then be secured. Going to lose the ground the point here, and there goes sniper up. Pioneers moving up. He just denied to stall again. Oh, buying time for the sniper to arrive and begin putting pressure on the Luckyman55. And there we go. Sniper arrives, and it's a bit too slow then. The trigger, just a bit too slow. Section popping out, and this time, pow! Thompson goes down. Up north, there's a section start. The house need to fall back quickly. You're there. Drops it. MB42 final reveal here against the section. Going for the CoH on the snipers nearby. Pioneers reinforcing the Grenadiers away for Jimmy in the far east section, grabbing territory pretty peacefully. We got no take up yet here for Luckyman55. Is he planning bolsters or something else here? So far, hard to say there for Luckyman55. Sniper there with 1 kill so far. Second kill there. Tom is slowly bleeding up, but he is suffering a bit of a fuel loss there compared to Luckyman, who has begun taking up. And this actually prevents Jimmy from taking up anytime soon, so this is definitely a rough start then. An aggressive pin there by Luckyman55. Finally pushed away here with Grenadiers, Pioneers counterattacking, all backed up here by Jimmy's sniper. MD42 getting a few shots in on retreating bastards, but it's probably not going to do anything serious. They're going to do some watching it on the victory point in the west. Section there, it's going to get caught here out in the open with the Grenadiers if they can pop into the house fast enough. And there we go. Sniper moving westwards to bag out things in the west. Might try and support the gunners and then make a push here for the west. Tactically, not bad, of course a bit risky. We got artillery already chosen here for the infantry section, that is the pyrotechnic supply. So it's clearly going to try and flush out, I think, the machine gun there with a bit of artillery. And we got bolsters up there for Luckyman. Pretty much expected. If you go for that many infantry sections of the Brits, and you see that for the Germans, you can probably anticipate they're going to go for bolstering them. Just make them tough and, of course, even more impactful. So there you go, it's going to pop the flare, nice throw there, and the machine gun, they will see if it's resistive, of course, due to the angle, we can't actually. Of course, he's going to find out once the shells begin flying, and there you go, the flare suddenly begins smoking up there through the church roof. Grabbing the eastern fuel point, there's some aggressive harassment, going to lose their force back by the section here, and up north, it's going to lose their pushing the section up, supported by the sniper. 3 kills so far, taking the CoH one as well there. Jimmy strikes for Deutschland. Pioneers versus the section moving up. Then there you go. Quick retreat. He's got the job done. He's almost get the job done there as well. Very good harassment here by Jimmy. Tries to sort of buy some time, and he's finally getting a take up, but it's nonetheless going to be a bit behind Luckyman and the Guards Armoured. Section of us, the Grenadiers, Conant to Gates versus Lee Enfield Rifles. A few shots, then more section. We've got Sabs on the way there for Luckyman55. Grenadiers, they're plopping down, certainly proving that Jimmy's men are not that lucky. Grenadiers squad number 2 moving in, hit a back up, sniper nearby, though he's of course trying to take some safer routes back here. Pioneers could try and build a medic bunker, but he might just feel he wants to get a light to make another company as soon as possible, realising he's behind, and could theoretically get rushed by some sort of a nasty vehicle. Hitting the munitions point here, and also the southern one. Machine gun hanging about the centre still, though the church is now of course unoccupied, and Luckyman quickly pops through there. Machine gun fires back, but that's just not really going to end up well for the machine gun there unless he gets super lucky somehow. Munitions there. Rendered neutral. Sniper pops back, and it is forced back in the north. Here we got a big push there from Luckyman55 with the section backed up by the snipers. 6-pounder gun up for Luckyman, clearly trying to anticipate any German light vehicles. No light to make a nice company yet up here for Jimmy. So we got the medic bunker up first, so he did go for that. Fuel on the west being harassed and grabbed there by the section, digging in with sandbags so they can get support. German soldier there, Fritz pops over. So there you go, Luckyman55 on the Guards Armoured on a swift counter-attack here, pushing hard as possible. Risking thereby setting off Jimmy's fuel income again, and there you go, pointing into neutral, hitting the cough one. It's not now gets another kill. Machine gun moving in there, but that's not really the best positioning, but I suppose he's just, you know, trying to force a decision here. Either he has to try and dodge the machine gun, or he has to down deal with the sniper. Either way, he ends up taking quite a beating. So yeah, ultimately the force of the reaction of just having to retreat, because either way would have been not very good there for Luckyman55. But now we had a counter-attack here to grab the fuel pump back. Of course, 5-man section in heavy cover versus advancing Germans. No cover as they advance. Definitely not good there for Jimmy. Bit risky assault, bit costly. There you go. 2 Pioneers already dead as the rest close in. Pioneers need to retreat. Coming this as a section. Half health might have a chance here, but the Pioneers could also go down. Nope. There we go. There we go. Grenadiers taking losses. Rifle grenade off here in the centre. And oh! Close one. Jeremy dies. His spleen ruptured along with a few other internal organs. But the rest of the section makes it out of there. Flanks about, and here we go. Grenadiers being contacted now by the sappers. And the Grenadiers are in such a condition they cannot fight back and have to retreat. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Still not like to make a nice company up there for Jimmy. And we got a second sabber section out there for Luckyman55. I mean, he'd certainly be great off he went then for mobile assaults and double flames, which would make him really powerful on the offense and make it much harder for Jimmy. Already struggling to defend him, since now any heavy cover, of course, would be much more difficult to use, since again, a 5-man sabber section is going to be pretty difficult to deal with than just shooting as it runs at you. So there you go, like to make a nice company for Jimmy. Some Panzer Grenadiers, I think, in the right counter-attack, that's pretty good. Lots of upgraded sections, plus sappers. That's really where assault rifles can shine there for Jimmy, though, of course, less potential of enemy armour, but I think this is the sort of case where he has to bite the 7.92mm Kurz around, and yes, you know, not 7.62 actually, I think. Either way, and just get done with it. And there you go, Panzer Grenadier on the way for Jimmy, for Deutschland. For the 110th Panzer Brigade, and fun fact, Panzer Grenadiers in a Panzer Brigade were actually some of the first units to be fully equipped with assault rifles, at least on paper. They weren't always successfully done so, but sort of on paper they were meant to actually be heavily equipped with assault rifles and then be equipped with half-tracks, armoured half-tracks. In fact, they even had flak drillings to sort of back them up, that is, armoured half-tracks with triple anti-aircraft guns, specifically anti-aircraft guns adopted from, well, aircraft machine guns. And then mounted something to triple mount there. Quite potent, and I kind of wish they'd gone for that one. That would have been pretty cool. But there you go. Panzer Grenadier out here for Jimmy. Deutschland. Machine gun coming to fuel point there. Sniper, of course, is still alive, which is really important here for Jimmy. And there you go, section 10 from south side. Need to get the Panzers up to support. No, they're moving up elsewhere. Pioneers standing out with flamethrowers. Right now, the Guards Army is pushing it aggressively. Section they could be flanked by the Panzer Grenadier. Pioneers being assaulted, and there you go. Section being flanked by them, but not quite enough. Machine gun overwhelmed. Sniper push back as well here. Situation looking a bit rough. There you go, catching the section here with the assault rifles. And there you go, forcing retreat. Very good, very good. Samples getting blasted and burned. There we go. Caught the machine gun bunker here. I do personally dislike that sometimes machine gun bunkers can actually cover a surprisingly large amount of territory outside of the base proper. And even occasionally cover actual strategic points right outside the base, which is a bit annoying to be honest. But that's another story. We got section moving up here, going to do ground point here. But there you go, Panzer's continuing ahead here, 3 kills so far, halfway to veterans in 1, say good, say good. Panzer's definitely did some good there for Jim, and he's going for a second one. He's going to try and push the infantry as hard as possible. Whereas Luckyman is just pushing for the next tier already, and that's certainly dangerous here for Jimmy. And he's going to need some anti-tank weapons. He's going to be forced to go for some Panzer section 1 of the Panzer Grenadier squads. But so far though, the 107th counterattacks with vigour. And goes Savage being repulsed here. Heavy assault of Grenadiers backing up. Machine gun probably going to occupy the church again. 5 kills. Closing an unveterans 1 there for the Panzer Grenadiers. So good, so good. Grenadiers inside the medic bunker. And there goes second Panzer squad ready. Mines off it. Good mining there by Mr. Luckyman. Lucky in this case so that his sniper didn't hit that mine. And he's certainly going to have to consider some mine shooters at some point. All the way hitting the fuel point again. Wunderbar, wunderbar. Realising that's really important, which it is. No armor yet here for Luckyman though. Jamie though is going to have to go for the Pack 40 soon, otherwise he's going to likely get steamrolled. Push back here, did render the point a bit neutral. Almost got the southern point here. Panzer standing about here, possibly waiting for the next order, for the next move. Sapling westward, see, snipe, Oakland Pine used about the flamethrowers, very good. Burning those Tommies, those Inselhafen. And we got the sniper hanging back here. Nice leisurely position. 9 kills, Sapper dead. Panzer there setting up for possibly a big flank. He's just going to go straight for the fuel point, forcing him to attract force from the front line. In this case, we can even clear out the anti-tank gun with the Panzer Grenadiers, which would be pretty effective, but no, doesn't seem to be happening here. Pioneers went up the section, they could burn them out. They probably should get into cover. And there you go, hitting the cuff point again. Basically realising where Luckyman's hitting, he sort of shifts over there. And he might even try to go for the wipe here in the section retreating, though I don't think it's going to be super likely. But how do you say, 2 Panzer squads, they probably would have been. Either way, good harassment, good flanking, good movement with the Panzer Grenadiers. Highlighting a flexible tactical mind here. Excellent. What's the Germans would say? Bueno. Wait, no, that's not the Germans. Panzer then should probably retreat now. They're getting surrounded here. I mean, he's sort of done a bit of harassment, but a lot of sections firing at them can very quickly take them apart, so he needs to be careful here. Tech up there going on for Jimmy, for Deutschland. And we got a Vickers out here for Luckyman, possibly realising now that with all these Panzer Grenadiers moving about, roaming about, infiltrating behind enemy lines, which isn't just kind of German tactics, he actually needs to be more wary and sort of brings up machine guns up so to try and contain those Panzer Grenadiers. Good tactical move there. Sniper gets another kill. Excellent. 10 kills for Deutschland. Also, snipers, depending on how many kills they got, could actually get small rewards. One included a hunting trip with Heinrich Himmler. Fun fact, those I believe also you could get a pistol with your own name monogrammed on it or something like that. So some fun facts there. Section versus Grenadiers here. Parts of the sniper support, they're pushing back the section. Really good work there. 6 kills in one of the first squad. So Paul McCall can probably soon go up, though he really needs some anti-tank even then. I mean, he's really in a weak spot, and there he goes, centre on the way there. Luckyman going for what a lot of Brits go for in their ahead. They're going for the centre. That's going to be a real problem there for Jimmy. That's going to be a real problem. There goes Paul McCall on the way. Sappers are getting blasted for their assault rifles, making short with those Tommies. Good lord, they've got bigger submachine guns. That, Terrence, is an assault rifle. Oh, how do you know? Well, you know a thing or two when you used to be a German soldier. You what? Sorry. Anyways, sent on the way there for Luckyman55. Biggest coming out the car front. He's certainly tired of Panzer Grenadiers stepping in there, acting like it's Poland. Anyways, point is secured. Sent almost done there for Luckyman. No pack ready. Oh, oh, wow. He actually counts it for a tier, and he builds a holy snot biscuits. Jimmy's got some serious balls on him. I mean, he realizes he's behind. He's got no talent. He's got nothing to tank. I mean, he's going to have to go for Panzerschrecks then. But he's pushing for tier 4. Oh, goodness. The stones on this man. And he just spent munitions, so he can't actually. I don't know what he spent the munitions on, but he's going to regret a light machine gun. Okay, he's going to have to cancel that, because otherwise he's going to be caught with his lederhosen down his ankles while taking a winkle in Stalingrad in the open. Also known as really, really bad spot to be caught. So I imagine there's going to be some Panzer Shreks on the way there for Jimmy, because otherwise he's dead. Deader than Paulus. Should have been, anyways. Fuel cache there getting blasted, according to the Fuhrer that is. Cache there down, sadly didn't get so much fuel out of it in this case. I mean, he just... I guess he was feeling really, really confident, just completely, you know, again, didn't consider this option, and Luckyman just punished him very, very hard. But, I mean, in this situation, you'd probably go for a Panther, to be honest. I mean, he could if he were to push out a Sturmpanzer first, but I'd strongly urge a Panther. Wait, we got the machine gun grenadiers and the soon-to-be Panzer Jaeger. They're over here, actually, with the Raketen and Panzer Buchse. Which means rocket anti-tank rifle, by the way. That's what it's like called in here. Forcing Jimmy to get moving, or one way or the other. Grenadiers moving up here, sappers falling back. Grenadiers being pushed out here by the centre. Further counters being inflicted. Lots of artillery fire there. Grenadiers hanging back.
We're losing a capture point.
Centre moving up, Panzer's moving out as well. Bofors being attempted in the central cemetery, but not quite working out there. Panzer's opening up in the centre. Could Panzerfaust and possibly get some more hits in? There you go. Panzerfaust off, centre down to half health. Machine gun nearby, the should prevent the Panzergunners from able to finish off the centre. Still, they're going to be able to do some serious damage. Almost getting it. So close there. Note he's actually not going for mobile defence, but some players will do it to sort of show themselves up. So I'm not entirely sure what Jimmy's thinking. Doctor, though, neither do with Luckyman. There you go. Bang grenade on the machine gun. He's not been able to clear it out though, and sadly he can't pursue the Panzer. Still, he almost got the centre. That's going to buy him some time. He still needs the Panzer, but of course needs something out. His machine gun got cleared out. The situation is pretty rough here for Jimmy and for Deutschland. Meanwhile, Luckyman there, his centre has seen better days, but it is nonetheless combat worthy after a few fix-ups. Both Panzer squads there back for healing reinforcement. Grenadier counter-tank into the east, very good. Rifle grenade sort of attempted a thing here in the west. Didn't make much of an impact. So I imagine here Luckyman's going to soon try for another emplacement. There we go. Second Bofors up, this time a bit further away from the centre, but still going to be able to cover the area around it. Cheeky breaky, a rather sudden shift there in strategy from Luckyman. He's ahead, so he's going to try and solidify it with emplacements essentially. In this case, the Bofors quickfire 40mm emplacement. QF standing for quickfire, though specifically what they meant with it, I'm actually not entirely sure. It's also had a bunch of other guns that had the QF mark, including artillery, so I'm guessing it's something to do with how fast it could fire, I suppose. I don't know the specific designation for Grenadiers on the way here for Jimmy, so it's going for the full squad. No, Panzer Grenadiers, you kind of figured to go for that now, but just regular Grenadiers. Meaning he's actually got 6 infantry squads, which is an awful lot of infantry, particularly for a German player. Heavy Panzer Corps, though, still not happening. Section there pushed back. Centre good to go once more. Of course, we've got the Bofors ready for Luckyman and the Guards Armoured. Heading for the victory point on the sides. Very good, going back his fuel point as well. So good, so good. Gonna do some standby. We got a mortar placement up. He's basically digging in around here. Very nasty, very cheeky. There has been a return of some players actually going for a SimCity style strand, you see it. With the Brits, which of course is a bit unfortunate. Panzer good to go. Just need something to actually hunt there with the Panzer. We've got Jaeger infantry from Jimmy. Interesting choice there. I mean, he could have then gone for, Jaeger command squad instead of that 4th Grenadier squad, to be honest. I think that would have been a much better choice there for Jimmy. Also, one thing you can consider is actually getting ambush camouflage on, particularly Mount Alarm's Panzer Grenadiers to set up a better position to actually shoot at the centre.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
2 versus 288. Machine gun from inside the church. Sniper with 19 kills, that's 2. Still no heavy panzer copter for Jimmy. Should soon begin building it soon. Though I'm a bit surprised Luckyman hasn't hit him with more armour than he has. The part of course is those emplacements eating up a lot of resources. Sweeping up the west side for the fatherland. Section moving forward here, both double bolstered.
Trying to take one of our points.
Presumably they're going to do swiftly. We got machine gun ring up the support, sniper panzer hanging back. We got the Panzer Jaeger supporting the eastern push here. In this case, things slightly further behind, probably waiting for the centre to react to this move and then sort of appear out of nowhere to sort of rocket it to death, or at least attempt to. Heavy panzer corps finally going out for Jimmy in the 107th Panzer Brigade, section under 5 from the machine gun. Noting he's sort of more or less not moving around the city. He knows there's a buffers there, so rather than waste effort to try and clear it out, because emplacements take an awful lot of effort to clear out compared with how much you can put into them. He's basically deciding, you know what, I got better place to be. Instead, he looks like he's focusing on the other victory points and points around it, which I think is a really good strategic move. Also tactically, of course. Basically, rather than sink a lot of resources into the hard point, he just basically takes the area around it, punishing Luckyman for sinking all these resources into a small pot. They can then only cover the centre victory point. No, this isn't always viable on all maps. In particular maps like Hortney found where it's a lot smaller and there's sort of points much closer and the map's just much more narrow. It can tend to be, shall we say, a less efficient strategy. But on a map like, Lost Glider, where there's a lot more open terrain in essence, and the victory points are much further away and not easily locked down as such, it's a much more viable counter move here from Jimmy. Also, going to be forced to attack the invasion, which isn't particularly easy either, since despite being made out of, canvas and corrugated iron or just truck, I mean, they are surprisingly durable. But there you go, it's going for the buffers on the Pack 40. Mortar with some smoke looking pretty great here, but still I guess it can work out. Starts falling in, so I like to bombard. Sturmpanzers on the way there for Jamie, for Deutschland. And I guess that's one way of doing it. There you go, Silver Pantrix hits on the centre. Pack 4 they're being pursued. Sex going in as well. Could get the Pack 40 here. Looks like it. Pantrix is continuing up. Going to get behind the centre and knock it out. We got land matches out. He's got mobile assault while playing very defensively versus Jaeger infantry. But he's actually playing with a lot of infantry. So, I mean, fits. And there we go. We got the Sturmpanzer forward here to support the 107th Panzer. We got artillery fire. Took out a section. By the looks of it. At least I saw a blip and then I didn't see anything. Other Sturmpanzer moving ahead with a 150mm howitzer. I'll probably try and take out their buffers with it. Gun is moving in line of fire, getting shredded by it. This Pack 40 there stands about. Mount's going at the flank here, hitting the points here. Very good play by there by Jimmy, trying to clear out this. With, so to say, more sufficient force. I mean, he's still hitting elsewhere. Even this could then be considered just maybe a minor diversion against Luckyman, to draw his attention away from the sides of the map. In which case, really clever there by Jamie, though of course we don't know that's the case. Oh, Sturmpanzer moving up here. It's clearly trying to take out the 6-pounder gun, since that's the biggest threat to Sturmpanzer. He can get rid of that, he can just more safely shoot down everything else, though. The Bofors seemingly has no issue with the Sturmpanzer's 100mm thick armour, which is actually somewhat slowed. So, fun fact. When this was a section, could consider roughing it, but also probably just fall away, and he also needs to grab the other victory point here. Need to try and turn the game around in his favour there. Pack not recruit, meaning he's left to just the Panzer here to deal with the centre, while he tried to take out the Bofors and the mortar. His Sturmpanzer need repairs, and then he got land matches fire. Panzer's going to need to retreat now. And too late there. Too late. Bofors, centre, and land matches just basically wipes them. Quite a loss there for Jimmy and for Germany. Centre on the roll here, the gun is swiftly moving out. It's got a large section of Bren-wielding Brits. But we got a Sturmpanzer nearby which can actually sort of punish this sort of lump of infantry. You know, Jeremy, yes, what is it? I do feel like standing about this closely could be a mistake with a German assault panzer about. Oh, don't be silly. All these bodies will only protect us from the explosive force of the high explosive shell. Are you sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to achieve the exact opposite. Look, how about we make a bet? If everybody dies, you'll win. If, you know, none die, at least few die, I win. Well, what we win? Well, our lives, I guess. Chunk of engine moving up aggressively. Twenty-seven of them kills on the sniper.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
And the Sturmpanzer almost good to go. No Pindelmark machine gun there for the Sturmpanzer. No Pindelmark machine gun.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Grabbing points swiftly and ruthlessly. Sometimes one go for the Panther, but he definitely seems to be having sort of more control on that now. It's part again. I mean, while there's a certain amount of area here that Luckyman controls, on the other hand, beyond that he doesn't really control a lot. And of course he's sunk a lot of resources here, plus population, so that does limit a bit what he can actually do. That the only way he could sort of though make it trickier for himself is actually build another emplacement. At which point again he'd have more resources and PopCap just sunk into a small part of the map. Hector to get another fuel cache out here for Jimmy. I'm not happy to cancel that. My apologies there, for some reason just all tabbed out. If it has a gas, it's the Steam friends list just crashing again.
Ready to move out. Can we shoot something?
Sapper sending out there with a center and backup. You're not got a lot of anti-tank up here though. Fuel cache is done. Panther's going to get closer, so I'm going to need that Panther to really ward off against that center. Smoke's from down here from Luckyman, basically having to shoot here at the section ground the point. Up north section moving in there with support from the centre. Very good, very good. And there you go, eastern push, realising now things here there. He strikes for the east. Good tactical read there by Jimmy. Good tactical read. Going to do escaping the wrath of the centre. And there you go, section push back with the Sturmpanzer. 229 versus 262. And there you go, land matches fires a bit, but positive sides is not worth it.
Emplacement under attack.
Jimmy is getting closer to the Panther. The Panther can't converge in the film. We'll have to see if we can actually get there though in time. Though with the Luckyman having gone a lot more defensive, it certainly seems less likely he's going to try and go for it. But there you go, he actually seems to push it in before then. Falling back up north centre, going for the machine gun, the one lone machine gun here that Jimmy's got. Could see wipe here to the centre. Good point secured here as well. Good harassment by Jimmy. Again, he's basically playing around the emplacements as much as possible, denying the overall effect. Sapper sneaking about. We get a Panther out for Jimmy. Not good versus emplacements really, but I suppose could be useful in clearing out support weapons and infantry. I really think you should go for a Panther. And Luckyman probably should consider going for some army. Could easily say go for Hammer and Bulldogs and just begin pushing out something big like Centaurs or Comets. Though so far seems like Luckyman's not really committing to either. Panther on the way for Jimmy, realising he actually needs that probably more than the Panther effort. Savage getting shot to bits by the gun. It is the G43 is making excellently short work here. Push up the centre victory point here, being grabbed back by the British, but we got one of the 7th Infantry get on it with a Sturmpanzer. There you go, 2 men gone, and a single shot, only 2 remain. before being forced away. Enemy's being blasted. Shot 5. Direct hit on the Bofors. Section against the Pioneers here. Panther almost down there for Jimmy. Using it from the Sturmpanzers and getting killed, but at least got some experience. He could consider now trying to use the bunker busting basilisk. Now we go. Luckyman is actually coming in. It's a 17-pounder gun as well. That means a Bofors, a mortar, and a 17-pounder gun all in roughly the same spot. Of course, that spot's going to be really, really difficult to attack, but it's not going to be able to cover the entire map, at least a significant part of the victory points. So while he will be able to deny the center somewhat to Jimmy, he won't be able to cover the other 2 victory points. So if Jimmy just focuses on that, he should have a chance of just bleeding out Luckyman, since Luckyman will of course be forced to attack beyond the emplacements, of course, meaning he's going to be fighting without a lot of chunk of his resources in that sense. Panther strikes, pin on machine almost down there for the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Second push back here, Sturmpanzer slightly moving forwards again. Up north, far up north, they're going to squat for the centre, immediately suffering the wrath of the British anti-aircraft tank. Just chang through those Jerrys. Panther moving westwards to deal with this threat. And he's going to send the Pioneers poke around the point. We've got 6 Sappers moving in with lots of P8s. Oh dear, Panther being caught here by them. Suffering quite a bit of damage. You need to be careful, Jimmy. Need to be careful. 4646. There we go. Panther almost down to half health after 2 volleys of P8s there from 2 Sapper squads. And Luckyman seemingly sits about there clearing out obstacles here to make it easier for him to defend, and for harder for Jimmy there to creep up on him. And lays down mines. We've got a bit of artillery running up about here. Healing reinforcements, troops on standby, Sturmpanzers running up, Panther waiting repairs. He's got 2 Cyber squads or Pioneer squads up now, one with mines result. Very good, very good. There you go, 17-pounder gun lands directly in the Sturmpanzer, easily piercing the frontal armour. 17-pounder gun, of course, was a powerful British anti-tank gun, but it was also a big and heavy one, which could not be moved without tractors or anything like that. They would normally use a, shall I say, larger version of the universal carrier known as the Lloyd carrier, which was basically just a much bigger version of it. Pin-up machine almost done for the Sturmpanzer. Section 4, there we got the Sturmpanther attacking first, Sturmpanzer's hanging back. There we go, both sections repulsed.
We've 200 points remaining. Sensor ready to go.
Land match is setting up, halfway to veterans who run. There we go, land match is firing off there for Luckyman. Subs advancing into the Panther's line of fire, machine guns firing shots, blasting well as well there. Those shots going through the Panther's frontal armour, forcing Jimmy there to pull back his Panzerkampfwagen 5. In the centre, German troops are making a push for the centre victory point, avoiding here a lot of stuff because the British can't actually see them until it's too late. So there's a bit of slight weakness in the defence clearly. In the east centre moving up, there's Sturmpanzer Panther hanging back here waiting repairs and support. But Luckyman doesn't care, rushes to head his centre right into the Panther line of fire, the Sturmpanzer. Solving a few hits there. Still victory points wise, Jimmy's actually bleeding out the Luckyman here, continuing his strand. You've just basically bleeding his opponent down by victory points, which I definitely think is the right one.
Sending supply to Tommy's.
And they got grenades up the Luckyman increasing the firepower into. Of course, they really need to carry now. They are going to be expected to fight around areas where the placements can't easily support them. Grenades off in, there we go. Oh, full section YP. Great work there for Jimmy. Less lucky there for Luckyman, but he does get the Brun gun back, at least here for the section, before being pushed away themselves. Nothing further there for Jim, who's more or less at full pop cap. This is Luckyman, who is also more or less at full pop cap. We got more mine to defend the southern victory point. Very good. Centre one captured in there. We got the western field being harassed here with a machine gun crew before being rushed off by the presence of the sniper with 38 kills. Very good work there by Jimmy. And Sturmpanzers Pioneers with Panzer or Pioneer support moves ahead. Mines up here as well. Very good, very good. Only quieting down a bit in there. Got centre advances, smoke from down. He's pushing for the cup on. He's pushing for the kill cash. Cheeky work there by Luckyman straight to the back 40 though. Panther could be into support, but so far he's not. He is not. So on the victory point being crapped here by the Germans again. Manchester was nearby. Saps on standby alongside the 6-pounder gun. But it is Jimmy now who's got the lead here versus Luckyman, 29 versus 114. Grenadiers moving up, might occupy the church here, might not. Propagandacast here with advancing troops in the south. Grenadiers, Panzer Jaegers in. Armour hanging back. He's so far joining the fight here in the centre. Nago goes trying to go for the centre victory point and being utterly obliterated by the Bofors. The Bofors crew certainly taking no prisoners. Section they're going for the cuff point, but finding another cache that they struggle a bit with it. These punches moving in, they're short rather than G for the facing, and there you go, grenade off, but poor throw there by Luckyman. He's easily darted there by Jimmy, and Sentai immediately under fire from the Pack 40. Back here, troops on standby, armour also on standby. Jimmy not really committing his armour to anything there, it seems. At least for the time being. 100 points left here for Luckyman, though. Jimmy's really applying some pressure here, bleeding him out slowly but surely. Good work there by Jimmy. Very good work. Fixing up the centre. And the Sturmpanzer joins in. Ready to blast some very large shells into the British lines if possible. But we got the centre dealing with infantry trying to push ahead. Sturmpanzer staying back. Panthers not even joining in the fight remotely. Might be the 17-pounder gun, which is of course going to be a bit more apprehensive about trying to move in there with the armour, because the 17-pounder gun can very quickly do fight. No damage. Still victory points wise, he is in the lead. He's got his opponent down to 88, 87 victory points. In fact, while he's still at 209. And of course, part of it might be just these attacks on the centre just there to keep Luckyman focused on the centre victory points. He focuses less on the other victory points, to try and push for them. So in this regard, this could very well be a good diversionary strategy. He's basically conducting just to protect his main strategy, which is force grab these points. But he can just constantly get to attack and just dictate the fights. Even though he can't win them, he can just keep Luckyman from only focusing on the centre victory point. He can pretty much set himself up for winning here. Possibly. Oh dear, direct rocket here. Fire here. Pack 40 crew obliterated, melted away. 43 kills, 44 kills on the sniper. Trying to clear out the 6-pounder gun, and there he goes trying to destroy the Pack 40. Deny it from getting back into Jimmy's and the 1 and 7-pounder gate's hands. Gun is moving up. People rocket fired out. 75 points left here for Luckyman. The heat is getting ever closer to the bottom. Centre setting out their 13 kills versus 5. Panther setting out. Panzer Jaegers, but they're not really any panzers to hunt. And another house collapses the end of the sheer brutality of this conflict. S-Mugs on the southern victory point, very good. Northern one is less defended. There's just Heinz there with the light machine gun and his friends. Hey Heinz, yeah, maybe you should use one of these windowsills, you know, to stabilize your machine gun instead of sending about like an idiot sat. Maybe I should. Yeah, you should. 57. Seems like Luckyman has completely forgot about the other victory points. But there you go, seemingly beginning to move westwards. They might hit for the fuel point there. It's going to be, of course, down to Jimmy now to counter and prevent it from happening. This slope's being wiped out. Panther moving in. Sturmpanzer is also able to join in, but isn't.
We've got 50 points left.
50 points left here for Luckyman 55 for the Commonwealth. The Guards Armoured Division. Bunnies and Gossi with the centre, got the Panther wing in, Sturmpanzer back up, there you go, direct hit, 600 gun shoots the Panther, bounces off, Sappers under fire from the Sturmpanzer, direct hit, and several members obliterated, close to the Sturmpanzer, and there you go, far up north here, grenades on set from the section, got a grenade off here, and, oh, dodges it though, nicely here actually. More section members move up, gunners being slowly overwhelmed here, and we got artillery called in on the position, going to move out there to flush them out, very good work. Ah, none of those rounds hit there. What a waste of munitions. The gunners will ultimately force back. You might even risk losing them here, which is going to be quite unpleasant. Great though for Luckyman, great. Northern victory point open. 35 points left for Luckyman. He needs to do something soon though. Things are starting to get a bit dangerous. These also, both sides are kind of flowing out resources because they're playing a lot more cautiously, they're not putting out a lot of pressure, and they also more or less fill pop caps. There's not a lot they can use resources on. Jimmy could build cash, could build a machine gun bunker, but beyond that, it's not really a lot else he can build. But there we go, lost something more, might be able to go for a replacement unit instead. But for Luckyman, there's not really a lot he can otherwise build. I mean, there are no machine gun bunkers, for example, you can just see set up. Commonwealth gunners was the advancing section with their machine guns. We're moving up, got Sabs clearing out the mines. Very good work there by Luckyman. You could drive grenades and hope to set up the S-mines on the sappers. No, what? Ah, I don't know what happened there for Luckyman. It was a misclick or what, but the center shot on the S-mines. The sappers stood in. Oh dear. At least he didn't wipe his own men, but that was actually pretty close. What are you doing, Terence? Well, the German mines. Where men are standing in it. Well, it could be German spies. That's not how those things work. You idiot. There you go. Panther being held back here by the sappers. Sturmpanzer opening up. Shoots, and on the surface doesn't even doing a lot of damage. It's either that house is made from something tougher than bricks. Much tougher than bricks. $25 points left here for Luckyman. 205 left for Jimmy. Big counter with the Sturmpanzer Pioneer's going to lose in the Panther. Snowball is still alive here with 47 kills. Good work there by Jimmy. Mine goes off, killing several grenadiers.
The enemy are at 200 points.
Almost got the snow that we've lost there for Jimmy if he had. Hammering in there, go directly from the 6-pounder gun. We got the Centaur nearby. We could probably use the barrage here to clear out the 6-pounder gun. I think that'd be a pretty good choice here for Jimmy. Either way, that 6-pounder gun crew needs to die. There you go, directly from the Sturmpanzer, almost takes it out. Panther gaining veteran to 1. One more hit on the 6-pounder gun should be down. Pioneer's joining in. There you go, down to 2, and kaboom! The crew's gone. The crew's gone. We got 47 going up for Luckyman as the Panthers in hot pursuit. Sabs get blasted by the Panther. Got a mine nearby. Mine goes off. Sabs in a lot of trouble. So is the Panther. So is the Panther. Sturmpanzer move with their Sabs there, reinforcing close to the front lines. The Panther just heads into the machine guns. And insults. Largely barrage in here from Jimmy to carry up the Panther's retreat. Almost getting machined here with the Panther, and oh dear. Sam's all obliterated, but the Sturmpanzers, they got troops nearby to support as well. Pioneers, Grenadiers. 5 kills in the Panther, 11 kills in the Sturmpanzer. We'll find them here killing around the forward assembly, which is still standing and lying to still reinforce his troops around the victory point. In the centre, we actually got a raid attempt here. Anything going to hit the victory point. They'll be accident of suffering losses here. I'm not entirely sure what he lost. Otherwise, something died. Machine gun almost down, forward assembly almost down. So they're going for the Sturmpanzer, and the Sturmpanzer goes up in smoke and flames. But he can't easily replace it due to the resources he's got. Due to them, being more or less fully pot capped for quite some time. Pioneers are dropping, by the looks of it, a Piet. They picked up from someone else. There you go, another Sturmpanzer for Jimmy. Panther is thankfully holding away there. Done easy out in the open, not a good spot to be honest, but they're not when they're still S-mans, so they're now to be set off by the Piets. Grenadiers proudly advancing into machine gun at bridge point. They realised they probably shouldn't be doing that. Probably should have gone for a deeper flank for here, getting past the machine gun, but that's too late for that. Central victory point secured. 4 points left for Luckyman. 4 points. Jimmy needs to fix up his Panther. He's running a lot of fuel, but again, like, part of it is just all of these emplacements heaps up so many resources. You can't commit to more RAM in the centre, and this regard isn't very good versus the German tanks. So he's rather managed to paint himself into a corner a bit here. And again, had this been, Halotny Farmer, he probably would have been in a much better position just with, free emplacement, because again, much smaller map, more easily coverable. But on a map like this is a much less efficient strategy. Simply due to, wider territory. Of course, having up against the players, less, I would say, sharp than Jimmy, sure, it could still work because the opponent just keep, focusing on the centre victory point, trying to grind it down, but Jimmy here, clearly, being a veteran player, realises that's going to be a waste of resources, time and effort, and just, focus on everything else and just bleeds out him. Keeping up some effort here, but only after the other points have been secured, at which point he's just doing it to keep Luckyman himself focused on the centre victory point. Turning him, to be the one with the ton vision. It's a good play there by Jimmy, good play. Oh, Sab's taking blast with the Sturmpanzer, the flesh run arriving. 1 point left for Luckyman. 1 point left. This is getting crazy. Tunis coming into here. This got nothing defending the northern victory point. He tried to rush the central one. He's basically going all in here, I think. In some ways, they're not recklessly so. He's still got a lot of victory points left. So, of course, one mistake he could very well give Luckyman the entire fight if he's not careful. Until he called in on 6-pound gun. Sturmpanzer wing gun. He's fighting against the can. Panzer grenades as well. No bun grenade ready for them. And there you go. Sturmpanzer getting a shot in there as well. Clearing out the 6-pound gun. Still 1 point left here for Luckyman. This machine gun looks to be down. Sapper's almost dead as well here. Getting awfully close here. Panther almost good to go here for Jimmy. Germany. Piet dropped about there. Yeah, 146 versus 1. Sturmpanzer heading westwards. He needs to defend this point and then needs to rush the other point. I mean, he theoretically go for this one, but again, that's like going to risk getting suicidal there with all the emplacement nearby. But at the same time, he needs to lead something to help defend this one as he pushes for the west one. But it looks like he's just going to go all in. Got a Jaeger command squad out here as well for Jimmy. As the Panther moves forwards. Sturmpanzer backing up, but again to the east side. Getting around, but at the same time, he's coming in a lot of force to the west again. He's not got a lot to get to defend the rest of it. There's actually got a lot of resources to begin building stuff with, but it looks like Luckyman. Oh, there he goes, beginning to go for double fireflies. Now it's going for stuff, but it might just be too late. In this case, he could actually prepare to hit, I think, with either anvil or hammer and just begin pushing out for other churches with comets. I think in this situation, comets might be better to do what they actually need to do then. Section push back. Almost got the northern victory point as well. Panther just King Occupy might lose the Panther to the Piats. Just a few more seconds. Got a kill there with Crush. A few more seconds. Ah, Fireflash right there. We go. Panther victory 2. And he gets the point. Panther goes down, but GG, game over. That was close there. In the end, though, Jim was able to punish Luckyman's, SimCity strategy, getting heavily focused on the center digging in there by basically just playing around it. Really well played there by Jimmy, so not something that all players were able to do. But Jimmy saw right through Luckyman's ruse and punished him for it. They did have a weak start, certainly a bit of risky strategy going there, some flaws there, but in the end, he was able to turn it around there and basically outplay Luckyman in the strategic level. Very well done there, very well done. Also, nice use of the Pentagon ideas. Though there were, of course, a bit of issues with unit processing from time to time. But still, I'd say an interesting fight here. But certainly something that is, I think, becoming more common than this British SimCity. So in this regard, having a video sort of shows out how one way to deal with it, I think, is actually pretty good. So well played there by Jim, well played by Luckyman. But in the end, Jimmy did play better. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, share it with everyone. If you like what I do, you can also donate or pledge on Patreon. The link's in the video description. It does help me out a ton. I do try to do this for a living, so even $1 can make a difference. More, of course, make an even bigger difference. And if you're also interested in a replay of your own, there's a link to that in email address in the video description for that as well. This is Imperial Link to you. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. You all have wonderful audience, and hope to see you all tomorrow again for another stunning episode. Bye.